Why it sucks to be born as a Viking child. You take your first breath, not in a warm hospital, not in a peaceful village, but inside a smoky wooden longhouse somewhere in Scandinavia over 1,000 years ago. Outside, the winter wind howls. Inside, survival is never guaranteed. And here's the terrifying part. Just because you're born doesn't mean you'll be allowed to live. Welcome to the brutal world of the Vikings. This is why it sucks to be born as a Viking child. 1. You have to survive your first day. The year is around 900 AD. Life expectancy is low. Medicine barely exists, and disease is everywhere. Your mother gives birth at home with help from experienced women in the community. But birth is incredibly dangerous for both mother and baby. If you're born weak or seriously ill, your future is uncertain. Some historical sources suggest that in certain Viking communities, fathers had the authority to decide whether a newborn would be accepted into the family. Historians debate how widespread this practice was, but infant abandonment is mentioned in some early Scandinavian sources. If your father accepts you, you're sprinkled with water and given a name. Congratulations, you've survived your first day. 2. Childhood isn't really childhood. Forget toys, forget cartoons, forget sleeping in. From the moment you can walk, you're expected to help. If you're a boy, you'll learn to chop wood, fish, herd animals, repair boats, and eventually use weapons. If you're a girl, you'll often learn cooking, weaving, farming, caring for younger children, and managing household work. Every pair of hands matters. No one asks whether you're ready. Your family depends on your work. 3. Winter is your biggest enemy. You might think the greatest threat is enemy warriors. It's not. It's winter. Scandinavian winters are long, cold, and unforgiving. If harvests fail, if food runs short, or if livestock die, entire families can face hunger. Every meal is precious. Nothing is wasted. Even children understand that survival depends on planning months ahead. 4. School? Not for most children. Modern education doesn't exist. Your classroom is everyday life. You learn by watching adults. You memorize stories. You hear tales of gods like Odin and Thor around the fire. You learn family history because remembering your ancestors matters. Some children from wealthy families may learn to read runes, but most people never become highly literate. Practical skills are far more valuable than books. 5. Playtime can be dangerous. Yes, Viking children played. They wrestled, they raced, they played games. But many games also built strength, balance, and courage. As boys grew older, they often practiced with wooden weapons before handling real ones. Not every child became a warrior. Many became farmers, traders, fishers, or craftspeople, but nearly everyone needed to know how to defend themselves if danger came. 6. Raiders don't always come from far away. When people hear Vikings, they usually imagine fearless raiders attacking other lands. But Viking communities could also experience violence. Feuds between families happened, power struggles happened, raids could strike settlements. Growing up meant understanding that peace could disappear quickly. 7. Disease is everywhere. A simple cut can become life-threatening. There's no antibiotics, no modern hospitals, no vaccines. Infections, poor harvests, and illness claim many lives. Even a fever can become deadly. Many children never reach adulthood. That's simply the reality of the time. 8. Your future is chosen early as you grow older. Expectations increase. If you're from a farming family, you'll likely farm. If your family are skilled shipbuilders, you'll probably learn that craft. If you're born into a powerful household, your opportunities may be greater, but so are the responsibilities. Marriage is often arranged with family interests in mind. Individual choice is usually far less important than the needs of the household. 9. The sea calls. One day your father points toward the horizon. A longship is waiting. Some young men join trading voyages. Others join raids. Some never return. The sea brings opportunity. But it also brings storms, hunger, disease, and battle. Every voyage is a gamble. Conclusion. The Viking Age is often remembered through images of horned helmets, giant axes, and fearless warriors. But those famous horned helmets are actually a myth. There's no good evidence that Viking warriors wore them in battle. The real story is far more human. Behind every warrior was once a child who grew up in a harsh climate, worked from an early age, faced disease, uncertainty, and constant pressure to help their family survive. Compared with modern childhood, life as a Viking child was extraordinarily difficult. So, now you know how it feels to be born in a Viking's home. Very brutal and scary, but it helps you grow up in a strong form and help you in fighting skills. Do you think you could survive growing up in the Viking Age? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoy exploring the hidden realities of history, subscribe. There's always another story waiting to be uncovered.